Best two out. Hey, Miss Lynn, got an important question.
Yeah.
Who would win in a fight between a knight and a cavalier?
Oh, a knight.
Okay, great, thanks. Miss Vicky, you're not busy. I got an important question. Who do you think would win in a fight between a tiger and a wildcat?
A wildcat.
What if that tiger was really smart and went to Ivy League school? Okay, come on. Pick me a winner. Seriously? This is ridiculous.
Hey Thomas, what have you been up to, my bud?
What everybody else in America's up to. Trying to pick my bracket.
Alright, my first take this week on the JS Report, welcome back to another episode, is Mr. and Miss Basketball winners for Division 2A. Angelica Velas for Webb School, from that. 2AA, Jelani Cambridge, who's been a standout junior, is what I've been told, for Innsworth. Kaylee Clarkson was the runner-up for the Briarcrest Saints. 1A was Blair Vegas from Wayne. 2A was Jada Harrison from Martin Westview. 3A was Tilma Lawson from Jackson Southside. 4A was Avery Treadwell from Knoxville Bearden. Mallory Collier from Bartlett was a runner-up in that. And then in boys, you got Division 2A, Isaiah West from Good Pasture won that. Seth Granberry from Lausanne was a Mr. Basketball finalist, runner-up. 2AA, you got Lucas Walls from Webb. 1A, you got Roderick Robinson from Middleton. 2A, you got Jalen Jones from East Nashville. Jordan Allen from Memphis Hillcrest was the runner-up. And then 3A, I guess that we had on throughout the year, was Demarion Yates from Fayette Ware. He won Mr. Basketball for the local. And then 4A was Jared Hall from Lebanon. Brock Weiss and Jordan Frison from Memphis Overton was the runner-up in that. So congratulations to all the runner-ups and congratulations to all the Mr. and Miss Basketball winners on the That's my take one. Alright, my take two this week, we have interviews lined up with Brandon Bradford from Fayette Academy. He's the boys and girls basketball coach of the Lady Vikings and Vikings. Thank you for coming on, Brandon.
Appreciate you, John.
No problem, man. Hey, just talk about your program in Fayette Academy this year with the girls program and then the boys program, or you can do whichever you prefer first.
Yeah. Well, this is I just finished my 4th year at Fayette Academy. Coached the boys for 4 years and the girls for 3. Start with the girls. If you would have told me 4 years ago I'd be coaching girls basketball, I would not have believed you. But it's been a huge blessing for me. Had an incredible group of girls. We had 6 seniors this year who I've had since their sophomore year. We've had winning seasons every year. We made the state tournament last year for the first time in a decade, and then we made it again this year and went even further to the Elite 8. Unfortunately got matched up with Webb there.
Yeah.
But our girls had a solid year, a lot of talent, and it was just a blessing and fun to coach them.
Yeah, in the girls program, I saw where y'all got some good wins over Carterville this year, MHEA, Hutchinson. Y'all lost the game to Arlington, but you played a tough game with them. And you also beat Lausanne, and then you beat FACS in that 3rd place game. And then you beat Silverdale Academy in that, like you said before, y'all played Webb. But nothing to be ashamed of for the girls. I know we saw an SEC powerhouse in Webb, it felt like, in that sub-state game. But what kind of leadership did those 6 seniors bring to that program this year?
Man, I mean, I could talk all day about every one of them, but our captain, our main leader is Emmy Moore this year. She's going to the Naval Academy next year. I mean, she's got over 5.0 GPA.
Oh, wow.
Leads the team on and off the floor. That's one thing I can mention about all these senior girls. Every single one of them has over a 4.0, taking honors classes. So they take care of business on and off the floor. But then I had Camille Burnett, one of our main scorers, can shoot the ball. Abby Ray stepped up into a big role this year. She came off the bench last year and started majority of this year, made some big shots for us in some key games. Then I had Megan Grantham, Annie Thornton, Georgia Weatherly, all played major minutes and major roles for our team, and it was a fun season. A couple games, like we only lost 10 games total, And I think in about 4 of those, we didn't have everybody either due to injury or illness, whatever it may be. But those girls, like, they made no excuses. It didn't matter who we had. When we played Collierville, we were missing 2 of our starters. And those girls just made it a mission to themselves. Like, we don't care. We're going to go out and battle. And we ended up getting a good result in that one. But like I said, it's been fun coaching them. We're going to miss those seniors. We've got one returning player that was in the rotation, Hannah Logan. She'll be a senior next year. Then the rest of them was our JV team from this year, and we really focused on development in JV. And those girls it's really going to be more of a mental challenge for them because physically we're obviously going to develop every day and keep doing what we're doing, but it's going to be more of that mental step forward to we are the varsity team now, and it's just stepping into that role, and they can do it. I'm excited to see.
And then you say you got 2 girls playing the BCAT next week.
Yeah, we got the BCAT All-Star game. Emmy Moore and Camille Burnett were selected to play for the D2 girls teams.
And then talk about the boys team. I know the record doesn't show it, but they fought every game. They were 10-20 this year, 3-10 in the league. They lost St. George's in the play in that region, but you only had 3 seniors.
Yeah, we had 3 seniors. Our main role players were sophomores. Corbin Bowling was our point guard. He made all region, averaged over 18 points a game. And then Zane Pike was our center, power forward this year, and also a sophomore, 6'2", athletic, gets off the floor quick. Probably led our team in rebounds and was probably one of the state leaders in blocks.
Oh, wow.
Averaging over like 4 a game. So we're expecting big things from them. We also had a great middle school team at Fayette Academy this year. We've got over 10 8th graders coming up next year as freshmen. And so we're looking, some of them might step into big roles. If anything, they'll challenge our upperclassmen. Iron sharpens iron. So I'm looking for big things for our boys next year.
Then you said you're also being a part of that coaching staff for the BCAT, so congratulations on that.
Yeah, I'm gonna be with Dexter Williams from Trinity Christian coaching the West D2 boys team.
Also, let me ask a quick question. I know a lot of coaches don't know this, but how hard is it to coach boys and girls, regarding that? Because right after a girls' game gets over, you're straight to the boys within maybe 2 or 3 minutes.
Right.
How hard is it? Because I know there's some, Coach McCourt from Dyer County is the only one that comes to mind other than you that coaches boys and girls. How hard is it?
Yeah, one that comes to mind for me is Coach Gray at North Point.
Yeah, that too.
Because he does an incredible job with both of them. I've actually talked to him and his assistant coaches before I started, kind of asking, getting their opinions on how to handle certain things. And I'll tell you, it's 2 different games, girls and boys basketball. Girls is more, you feel like you're doing more as a coach in the girls game because they actually listen to what you're saying. The boys is more of put them in a spot to make a play. But it's similar. I say it's different, but it's similar also. But one of the biggest challenges is, like you said, going from that girls game. It could be the most intense game, and you come out on the losing end, and now I've got to hit the reset button and start with the boys, and not take that game into the boys, and treating them separately, but also at the same time giving 100% to both teams, not cheating anybody. That's probably the biggest challenge with it. But I enjoy it. I mean, I'm lucky my wife loves basketball because that's all we do. We're in the gym all the time. But that's just, I feel like that's what I was meant to do, and I love it.
Yeah, I was meant to ask you, what's the day of practice like? Is it 3 to 4:30 girls and then 4:36 boys, or how is it?
It's a long day, man. It's over 4 hours of practice every day. And my assistant coaches, I had Ryan Meadows and Seth Creamer help me with both of them. Ryan's been doing it for 2 years, Seth for this year. I appreciate those guys. I mean, they put in the hours. They earned that assistant coach stipend, I'll tell you that.
Absolutely.
Wouldn't be able to do it without those guys.
So if anybody wants to go watch, I'm sure Brandon Bradford will post a summer schedule out on Twitter this year or Instagram or wherever you can follow him at. Where can I follow you at?
My personal
Twitter account, yeah.
At B Bradford 23. That's Twitter and Instagram.
So make sure you're going to go see the Lady Vikings and men Vikings this summer. Go out and watch Bradford and Vikings. That's what they do. Alright guys, my take 3 this week for some girls state basketball tournament results. First of all, I want to give credit to Briarcrest Lady Saints for losing. They lost in the first round of the state tournament, or the state semifinal, right, Brandon? So congratulations to Coach Smith and the seniors on that basketball team. I know they're kind of senior heavy on that basketball team. The future does look bright for the Lady Saints. What can you tell the Lady Saints, since you are noticing that a lot of coverage in our coverage area as well, that the Lady Saints had a great season?
They did. Was it Kaylee Clarkson? So
yeah.
She played. I watched the game. She played unbelievable. Left it all out there, and I'm a big fan of Coach Smith. He always does a great job. We go to their team camps during the summer. Great guy, and wishing them the best in the future.
Absolutely. And for the 1A results that we got is McKenzie 71, Wayne County 54. 1A and McKenzie, they've always been the West powerhouse in West Tennessee, and congratulations to McKenzie in that one. You agree?
Yeah.
2A Martin Westview 56, McMinn Central 37. Martin Westview has always been a good powerhouse ever since. Thomas might not remember this name, but Kevin McMillan coached Martin Westview back in the day as well. And Martin Westview finished the year 32-1.
Wow.
3A, you had Dyer County lose to South Gibson 46-29. Dyer County only had 1 point in that third quarter against South Gibson.
I watched some film on South Gibson when I was scouting Trinity Christian earlier this year, and they've got a really impressive team.
And then Elizabethtown beat Dyersburg 66-54. And then Southside, Jackson Southside ended up winning it all, 62-52 over Livingston Academy.
Yeah, I love their defense. That's why they won. The way that they move their feet, stay in front of the ball without fouling consistently, all the players on the floor doing it. They must be well coached, and their defense is why they won it.
And I believe they only lost 1 game all year as well. And a lot of West Tennessee teams represented pretty well in that. And 4A Bartlett girls 57, Sevier County 37. A friend of our show, Raven Sims, 14 points. Friend of Thomas, former Rosemark star. Nevaeh Scott 12 points, 4 assists in that one. Then Mallory Collier 11 rebounds in that game as well. And Bartlett shot from the field pretty decent that game, 38% from the field, 14% from the three, but 60% from the free throw line and clutch positions as well. 15 offensive rebounds for that game and 39 rebounds total for Lady Panthers in that first round game.
Wow.
And then Bartlett's 56, Green Hill 35 in the second round matchup. Nevaeh Scott had 22. Faye Williams, a freshman for Bartlett, had 10.7 rebounds, and the team also had 37 rebounds in that game. But the state championship game, Bartlett fell short and lost in this heartbreaker, 59-48 over Bradley Central. Bartlett just shot the ball game poorly in that game, 14-47 from the field, 1-12 from the three, 19 turnovers. Brandon, only 1 assist.
Wow.
What can you say about Bradley Central? I know they were like a little bit more athletic at times in that game. I don't know if you got to watch it or not.
Yeah, I think they were 32-1. They matched Bartlett's athleticism, and honestly, Bartlett just didn't have their best game. We all know that. I'm real familiar with Raven. She played at Rosemark. We were unfortunate to have to play against her for a couple of years. She's a special talent. Wish her the best luck at Memphis next year. And Bartlett had a few other seniors that were just a special group. West did an awesome job with them. Nothing to be ashamed of. Great run for them.
All right, I'm going to put you on the spot. My last question for you. Who's your GOAT of girls basketball head coaches? Do you have one?
I'll tell you, there's a bunch just in this area alone. There's a bunch. I've always enjoyed watching is Becky Starks. Used to be at Harding Academy. She's at Lipscomb Academy now.
Okay.
She's always done a great job with her girls. It was real fun to watch her at Harding back in the day go against Coach Gray, who's another awesome one at North Point. That year, I think it was 2016 or 17, when he had all those really talented girls, and Harding had Antoinette and all those girls. So that was really fun to watch. But honestly, I don't know if I could tell you a favorite because there's so many to pick from just from this area alone. So.
Absolutely.
Coach, he wanted you to say Lynn Whitfield. He wanted you to go back to his high school days in Bartlett High School. That's who he was trying to fish for. You didn't take the bait. Oh, I'm not supposed to be here to the next take.
I'm too young for that.
Too young? You're never too young.
Yeah.
Come on, Jasmine James there? Does that ring a bell?
I was in school when Jasmine played. Yeah.
So you do know Lynn Whitfield pretty well now.
Yeah.
So you, Thomas, you got a good point. But that's why take 3 with Brandon Bradford, coach of the Vikings of Fayette Academy. All right, take 4 this week, Thomas. You're doing
I'm back. I'm back.
Hey, he's back.
Yeah.
Welcome back to the JS Report, Thomas.
Yes.
Where you been?
Just keeping busy. Just keeping busy.
Take 4 this week is the boys state championship that's going on right now, Thomas. 1A, you got Hampton, who's 26-8 versus Humboldt today at 2:45. Humboldt, is a good powerhouse in West Tennessee, right?
Yeah, they're pretty solid. But I think the Memphis teams that are sprinkled throughout and all 4 classifications got a pretty good shot with athleticism. But you have to play good, sound defense 3 days in a row if you want to walk away with the gold ball. If you want to get that silver ball, you still got to play some good and hope that you're having a good game. Like you talked about the Lady Panthers, bad shooting day. They picked the worst day they had that day. If they hit their shots, they're back home with a gold ball.
Yeah, 1A, you also got Middleton 28-1 versus East Robertson 25-7 at 4:30. Those 2 matchups could be basically winner that Humboldt game, Middleton game could be the first state title. 2A, you got Douglas 26-8 from the Memphis area versus York Institute, who's 28-10. They play at 1:15 tomorrow. And then Giles County, who's 26-8 versus Power Center out of Memphis area, is 24-7. Play at 2:45 tomorrow. And guess what, Thomas? They can match up in the second round.
And I don't like when they do that. I think if you've been seeing each other all year, you should have your final meeting in the title game. But I know they don't want a all Memphis final. They won't come out and just say it. But I think they got in trouble a couple years ago when they did that in 3A / what is now 4A.
Right.
And they realized, okay, we don't need to do that, at least in our marquee matchup. The 2 best teams should play it at the end of the day.
They didn't win that Cordova versus East state championship game, basically.
Yeah.
That's the game that you're referring to.
Yes, but sometimes you got to drive 4 hours for an all Memphis championship. We don't mind.
Absolutely not. 3A, you got Memphis Ridgeway, who won yesterday 40-36 over Chester County. Good win for the Ridgeway Roadrunners out of Memphis. And Thomas, they rallied from 11 down in that game in the 4th quarter and came back and won that game.
Well, I think they're a team of destiny. When you are I think they came into the tournament like 17-12 with a so that record doesn't look impressive, but they played a very tough schedule, kind of like what the Bartlett Panthers did. But it did click at the right time for them in the postseason, and you get a lucky break with a Wooddale Raleigh Egypt situation. Get a little rest here, but you win in the right games, and this team could be a team of destiny. Those 12 losses show me that they've been through some adversity, but they do know how to win.
But they play an athletic team in Haywood tomorrow at 6 p.m. Haywood won 63 versus Unica County 63-43 yesterday. So West Tennessee will be sent home, but either way, whoever wins that game, congratulations on moving on. The loser, great season no matter what happens.
And Haywood senior guard, he is phenomenal. He's a difference maker, and he could be that guy that could will his team to a championship.
And Brian Carter had 21 points in that game for the Ridgeway Roadrunners. And Chris Shields for Ridgeway also made a late free throw in that game to basically get them over the hump to win that game. 4A, you got them playing right now as we speak. East 25-9 versus Dobbs Bennett 23-10. Dobbs Bennett won the state title game last year, so Javante Holmes and company in the East Mustangs might have their hands full, but I think they might win this game because I found out earlier this week that Dobbs Bennett's one of their best players ain't playing due to an arrest over the week.
Whoa, okay. So there's other people in the state that having basketball trouble, issues with their star players. It's not just on the pro level. It's not just on the pro level, but Coach Brandon would tell you this, any coach would tell you this. You got to have your head on straight off the court, make good decisions, and be careful who you're running around with. And we found out on a bigger level that you don't have to try to please these pseudo gods out there. You don't have to try to please your phone on these social media apps. Do sound things, and you are accountable to teammates in the team. And I know that has to hurt Dobbs Bennett hugely.
And then Memphis Overton, one of the hottest teams in the Memphis area right now. They won 74-55 yesterday. They play Hillsboro out of Nashville at 10 a.m. on Friday. But I think the Mr. Basketball finalist, Mr. Jordan, put on a show yesterday for Overton basketball team.
Their guard play, besides him, is phenomenal. They got guards that can hit the shot. They're big, long, and athletic, but they don't overwhelm you, and they got enough size with Hardaway in the middle to do damage. So, you know, the thorn in their side has been East. So they meet up in the championship game, and I was betting money. I bet on East, but I wouldn't be surprised if Overton came back as a top because they got the great guard play.
And then Briarcrest ended up losing the state title game this year, 52-63 over Brentwood Academy. So good year for the Saints, you know, and the Briarcrest Saints with Coach Harrington. Finished the year 33-3, Thomas. Nothing to be ashamed of there. But like we talked about with the Lady Panthers, they didn't shoot the ball well in that game either. Jay Nash was 2 of 12 from the field. Cooper Haynes was 2 of 9. Jacob Gaza only got 2 shots off, 1 of 2. And Fred Smith was 2 of 4. But Fred Smith had 2 early fouls in that first quarter as well.
And I know it's not an excuse because you played a couple games on that court already and in that atmosphere, but playing in a college arena is huge, a big difference from playing in your normal high school team. The court's a little bit bigger, the sight lines are different.
The lighting.
Yeah, the lighting. It's like whoever makes it to Houston in the Final Four this year, they have to play in a football stadium. So it's going to take some adjustment, and you could have your best shooting night, or you can be like, okay, I can't find the side of the ocean. so in both of our local teams' cases, bad shooting nights at the most crucial time.
All right, I'm going to put you on the spot.
Mm-hmm.
Are you in favor? I know it's a bidding process. I'm going to ask Brendan this in a second. I'm going to bring him in real quick.
Oh, Brandon, come on back.
Are you in favor for the higher classifications? Are you in favor of the state tournament? I know it's a bidding process. Are you in favor it's in Murfreesboro?
I think honestly, me just quick off the top of my head, baseball, basketball, football, everything should be in the middle of the state. To be fair.
The idea of a rotation sounds good, like Murfreesboro. Then the idea of rotating the state tournament, Murfreesboro 1 year, East Tennessee 1 year, maybe Memphis another year, sounds great. But logistically, I just don't know how they could make it work.
Yeah, I think because of the Memphis situation, where would you play it at? Ummerun Fieldhouse. You know, the renovated Ummerun Fieldhouse only seats maybe like, what, 4,000 to 5,000 maybe?
It looks nice, and if we had revamped the Coliseum, that would have been ideal. But you had to play it at the Forum. And people do worry about security here in our fair city. We have to be honest. That's the elephant in the room. Will we keep people safe and will they feel comfortable coming here, you know, to spend 3 to 4 days?
Same thing regarding Cookville, right? You agree with that?
Yeah.
Okay. Real quick, I know y'all are going to be practicing with the shot clock this summer. What do you think about that maybe going forward, Thomas? There's talk there might be passing it out in August.
35 to 30 seconds, and it should be only for varsity.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. I know a lot of people, especially in our district, who are opposed of it. But it's honestly, at the end of the day, it's going to be healthy for the game.
I think I'm in favor of it because you got to get the girls ready for the next level in college.
That's true.
Because nowadays, I think most referees are also calling 10 seconds in women's basketball now as well. So they got to get them ready for the next college level as well. I know we got to have somebody else to do both based on the clock and the shot clock. But like I said, good luck to everybody this week, you know, regarding that. Baseball and softball is approaching. Thomas?
No, it's here.
It's here.
I've been out there in the cold, yes.
Cold? It ain't cold out knocking.
Yeah, you had a 32-degree baseball game in Ripley, Tennessee. Yes, you know it's cold. But baseball season has started. Great action going to close out this week up at Ripley, so you can catch some of the local teams, Mumford, Brighton. Softball is starting up. Most of our teams are out enjoying the warm weather on the coast somewhere.
Yeah, at the beach.
But I think Brighton, they're at home.
Rikers is at the beach.
But the Brighton Lady Cardinals will be at home tomorrow. So they're started. And then next week, soccer picks up, and then later on down the line, track. So we in spring sports.
Ready? Any final words for our local teams?
The Memphis Tigers got a tough draw in the tournament, but Coach Penny Hardaway and Kendrick, they're going to get it done.
Any local acknowledgments to our coaches real quick for the state tournament?
Just want to wish good luck to everybody and congratulations to everybody on a great season. Way to represent the city. Keep it up.
Okay, and that is lucky bracket number 12. Woo.
What's up?
I win.
What's up, Tom?
That's up, Coach Brent.
John said you're working on your brackets here?
Yeah, man, I've been real busy.
So what's the big prize for all this?
The big prize?
Yeah.
You want to know what the big prize is?
Yeah.
A dozen eggs.
A dozen eggs. Let's get it on.